We are Two Guys Playing Zelda, and you can follow us on Twitter at Two Guys Play Zelda or email us at twoguysPlayingZelda@gmail.com.
Welcome to part 2 of our video walkthrough for The Legend of Zelda. This is the first dungeon of the game. It is the Eagle. And in this dungeon, one thing I really like about it is you will pick up two very awesome long-range weapons right off the bat in this game.
With the bow and the boomerang.
Yep.
Wow, I'm really missing right here.
You were struggling with that bat there. Tell me what, those bats are quick-moving and annoying, and you encounter them in just about every Zelda game.
They're easier once you get the boomerang, but until then, yeah, I mean, they're kind of tough to hit with your sword.
It's one thing I love about the boomerang. It only stuns some enemies, but it'll kill those bats.
Yes, it does,
And these Stalfos are a little easier in this game than they are in some of the others. They just take one hit, although, as you saw, we already walked into them twice.
Yeah.
But
that's first dungeon. I was a little rough on my original Zelda playing skills there, I guess.
Very true.
Well, when you can only step forward, you know it gets kind of tough sometimes.
Oh my goodness. Here I am saying they're a little easier, and you do all that.
Well, it's like I said, you gotta get used to controls, so.
Yes, you do. You gotta get used to your range.
Now, why do they have all this stuff in the front room? Because they have this in every dungeon. Do you know what that's for?
I think it's just decorative.
Just decorative? Okay, statues or whatever, maybe.
Statues, yeah, they work. A few more Stalfos here. Hopefully you do a little better job against these ones.
And a lot of people rank this dungeon pretty high just because it's like, I mean, this is really where it all started.
It really is.
The very first dungeon.
And it's a fun one. I mean, they don't ease you in. I mean, obviously, you've already seen a few rooms here with 5 or 6 enemies in them. They don't ease you in.
And what I try to remember is, like, you know, this is back in the, you know, Nintendo Entertainment System time. I mean, this game, I take, like, you know, the Super Mario Bros. The first one. I mean, this game was so much more advanced than those.
Huge. Just a much bigger game.
Yeah, it's also the very first game, I think, in history that you could ever save in.
At least the first non-computer game.
Yeah, well, there's computer games, definitely. But yeah, the first non-computer game that you could ever save in, which, thank God, could you imagine trying to beat this without saving?
Ugh. I will say one nice little item we picked up in the previous room while we were talking, it looks like a clock or a stopwatch. What it does is it freezes every enemy in place and makes them a lot easier to kill. Unfortunately, in that room, it was the last thing dropped, so it makes life tough.
Like I said, I mean, I don't know this, but it seems like it's always like the enemies that are the farthest away from the door. It always seems they always have the clock or whatever you want to call it that stops the enemies.
It seems like it, and that's annoying as heck too.
Yes.
I will say one thing I do like about this intro dungeon is almost every enemy in it is one-hit kill until a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
Like the Stalfos and the bats, they're one-hit kills. A little bit later we'll encounter some enemies that aren't. But
well, it's kind of nobody really knows what this means.
I have no idea.
Eastmost Peninsula is the secret.
It's the secret.
Does that mean like the most east room is the secret? Is that something to do with like the overworld? I don't know.
Couldn't tell you. Could not tell you.
In this room we'll get the dungeon map right here.
And we already got the compass as you saw earlier, so after we have these we'll actually be able to see the eagle shape there.
And from what I've noticed so far, you usually get the compass most time before you get the dungeon map in these dungeons.
You do. Man, you were definitely skirting it close on life here, though.
Yeah, well, I only had 6, whatever.
Granted, you did only start with 6 on
Hey, we can only when you're used to Z targeting and you gotta only be able to stab forward, it's a different kind of ball game.
That it is. I'm just giving you a hard time.
And the directional pad on the small Wii controller, that's
yeah, it's tough to work with. I think this is the first enemies in the boss that actually take more than one hit, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. Oh yes,
Plus they have a ranged attack.
They have the boomerang, yes.
Yep. Which is great. We eventually get a boomerang from them.
But we don't get to like the very it's the very end.
It's near the end. Yep.
That's not fair.
No, it's not.
Not for the first. Ooh, saw that coming.
Oh, the spike traps. They are a recurring.
Still in Zelda games today.
Yep, very recurring headache.
Then we'll go ahead and get the bow right here, which the bow has actually been in the first dungeon quite a bit of Zelda games.
Yes, it has been. So this one definitely Link to the Past.
Yeah.
The first adult dungeon in Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, which was like the 4th dungeon, but yeah.
One neat trick about the bow is it doesn't use arrows unlike other Zelda games. Every time you shoot it, it uses rupees.
Yeah, but you have to actually buy the arrows first, and I think they're 80. They're 80 rupees, right?
I believe so.
You have to buy them, and then they use a rupee, like I said, every time you shoot them.
Because right now the bow's worthless to us.
Yeah, it's worthless, which I don't even know why they give it to you right here if you can't use it.
I'm not sure if you can get the arrow before this dungeon or not.
You can. Well,
if you have the rupees,
you have to collect a lot of rupees, which collecting 80 rupees before this dungeon would be kind of tough.
It does take time. I mean, most enemies only drop 1 or at best 5.
Yeah, 5,
And you can find a lot of the secret rooms and stuff, but even then...
Yeah, but you gotta have certain weapons to get those.
Yep.
And you gotta have certain rupees to get those weapons.
Yep.
And this is what... I'm pretty sure... Yeah, we get the boomerang in this room.
One of these enemies does drop the boomerang for us.
Well, I think you gotta beat all 3 of them. I think we beat all 3 of them. We give you a boomerang.
Yep. Oh, I think you got it on the second enemy. You got a heart on that one. So, but either way, the boomerang is extremely useful, especially once you upgrade later on to a better rupee.
Yeah, and watch these hands right here, because if they get you, they will take you all the way back to the front of the dungeon, which is not a big dungeon, but you still don't want to go all the way to the front.
Yep.
And don't do better than I did. You cannot just go top and hide from this boss.
No.
Like I did.
And the idea is to hit him in the head, not the body.
Yeah, hit him in the head. That's true.
But yeah, you're hiding.
I tried to hide. Well, I knew that he was easy to beat.
Honestly,
so.
it only takes 5 or 6 hits.
3. It only took 3.
3 hits.
Yeah, it takes 3 hits.
But that's the first dungeon. Very short, very
short,
sweet.
easy.
But you got the 2 great long-range weapons.
Yes,
And this completes the second part of a walkthrough of The Legend of Zelda.